space right away. So with the 256 Mac memory, by the time you have the native operating system, the Photos app, the emails, tens of thousands of emails archived. The 256 was maxed out almost. On the memory bar, well, I only had like that much left on the end, So I bought the 512, but when I took it to the Apple store, they could only give me 520 for it, and I'd have to buy another one for 900. And he says, you bought it at Costco. Did you go there and show it to him? I says, no, I didn't. And he says, there's one 0.8 miles away down the street, just brand new one. And I go in there, and it is huge. And waiting this long line of returns. And she says, did you know that as a Costco member, especially if you've been with us for a long time, we are all allowed one exception to the rules. And you're going to use your one exception to the rules. I'm going to allow you to return this. And then you want to buy the next version up. And I says, yes. And she says, but what I'll do is I'll give you what's called a store card for the full amount of what you paid for it. And then when you get online on Costco, when you find the 512, when you go out of the cart, give them the store card, and they'll give us what we just gave you now. And then $85 later. So yeah, 85 bucks and 20 cents. And I need to show my screen. I don't know if I can do that. Can I get permission to do that?
Huey has to do it.
Am I starting now? I have something really cool.
I guess you are, although Stan probably already introduced.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Oh,
let's do it.
Okay. So do I have screen sharing capabilities?
I'm checking that now.
Oh, okay. Anyway, Black
just set you up.
Friday. Okay. Black Friday comes around, we get these deals, and this company that I buy the CNC milling machines from, they only have one sale a year, and it's Black Friday, and that's it. And they just put out the 3rd generation of the CNC machine. So I bought it on the good deal, and I was working for a client cutting out a 1/4-inch aluminum plate, and I was cutting circles and a profile around a border and drilling larger holes where I could tap a 3/8 NPT thread in there and put a pipe fitting in there. And I was doing it on the 2nd generation CNC, and man, I was using earplugs all day long. It was loud. And I got the new machine. I set it up. I cloned the CNCG code, put it in the new machine, and it ran it like 3 times faster, and it was like 3 times quieter than the 2nd generation. So I turned around and I bought a 2nd one because this is incredible. It is 3rd generation. The bearings have such a good load on preload on them that there's no noise going through. Anyway, so they call me and they say, and this is what I was leading up to. They called me and asked me how things were going, and I said, well, fine. I took my Apple laptop from one machine and put it on a new machine. He goes, oh no, you're supposed to like dedicate a computer to a machine, and you're not supposed to be moving the machines around, your computers around on different machines. You can't play musical chairs. You need to like dedicate it, And I said, oh yeah, I said, I figured it out because I was getting a lot of MIDI errors. And finally there was a button that said send config file. And then I rebooted the CNC and the computer and everything worked perfect. But there's that extra step that causes problems if you swap machines. So anyway, he says, anyway, he says, so you took a machine, you took one of our machines and took a computer away from it to put it on a new machine. I said, yeah. He says, what are you going to put on the old machine? I said, well, I'm going to buy him one of those 2017 MacBook Airs that has the USB-A port on it. He says, don't waste your money. I said, well, I can get them for like $800 from B&H Photo up in New York. And he says, no, don't bother. He says, we have this group of guys working on Raspberry Pi programming. And he says, they've like cloned our CNC software. We're working with them and all that. But it turns out that the Pi software is in running the CNC software, that particular, it's called Carbide Motion, is always more updated on the Raspberry. He says to every one update that you'll get on your Macintosh, you'll get 4 updates on the Raspberry Pi. And there's no difference in the interface. And he says, and here's what I'm leading up to, ta-da, there is, as of October of this year, a brand new Raspberry Pi that's called a Zero, that is a W, and now as of October this year, a W2. And it's a quad core. And I have experienced the single core because when I was on Amazon and thought I was ordering the second version, they sent me a single core, the single W. And I tell you what, you've heard the term of a computer running like it's on molasses. Well, this is like frozen molasses. I'm talking about when you boot it up, you got a black screen for like 3-4 minutes, and then you get an outline of a cursor for another 3 or 4 minutes. And then it turns out it's not even capable of booting a browser. So I returned that to Amazon, and the guy says, he says, no, he says, you want the W2, you go to CanaKit. Okay, I guess it's screen time. Let's see, where do I do the screen?
Lower.
How do I?
Screen share at the bottom.
Oh, share, I see it. Screen share.
And then the whole
do desktop too.
Yep.
And open system preferences. What's this about? Okay, I have to give you permission. Okay. Oh, I can use my Apple Watch. Yay, that comes in handy. Okay. Will not be able to record the contents of your screen until it is quit. It says zoom.us.app will not be able to record the contents of your screen until it is quit. You can choose to quit Zoom US app now and do it.
I think
on
you
your
pressed,
own.
I think you pressed record instead of share.
Oh. Okay, so I'll quit and reopen.
Yeah.
Quit and reopen. Leave meeting.
No.
No. Should be a green. It should say share screen.
Share screen. So I'll say desktop 1. Share.
There you go.
Oh, you can see me.
We
Zoom
see
would
it,
like
yes.
to record. Say deny or
Let's
say.
see. Zoom wants to record. That's something.
Yeah, well,
That's
you
a
hit
Mac
something.
thing. That's a Mac thing. Yeah.
Okay, and there's a I don't know. There's a Zoom. It's in there. So anyway, let's forget all that. Okay.
Yep.
So where's my screen with you guys? I don't know if I can see you.
We're seeing
okay,
your
you're
browser.
sharing my screen.
Yeah.
Okay, you're seeing my mail. I really wanted to see the other screen, but let me
Just drag it over.
okay. So this is the old Raspberry Pi Zero W, and it's $10. And but there is a somewhere in the middle, I lost my other screen. So there is the Pi 502W. And you click on that, and this bad boy is only $15. Of course, it's sold out. So just like a car dealer, you know, if you sell it with leather seats and everything else, you know, you come with this nice aluminum case right here. It's $54. So I bought two, and they're still processing the order. But this is a quad core 64 arm, a bit arm, a Cortex A53 CPU. It has wireless, Bluetooth 4.2, Bluetooth low energy. It has a MIDI, HDMI, USB 2 on the go ports, and micro USA. And they have a CSI camera connector that I guess if you want to use that, there's a thing you called Motion Eye. You download that. Motion Eye will work with this thing. Of course, you got the GPIO. But this, so I bought two of these, and what that allows me to do is to not buy two Apple computers to run my two new machines.
Slightly different price between them, obviously.
Yeah. This is really, and this just came out October of this year. And the guy says, we can't buy enough of these things. I think this guy has probably spent $5,000 in buying these things. He's got these things controlling all kinds of stuff around the shop. He's got all kinds of CNC machines. This guy is the highest level, you know, tech support at the CNC place. And he says, this is what they're pushing now for when you buy a $3,000 CNC machine, you go out and you spend $50, you buy a Pi 02W and the Max kit. And he says, this is the kit that he with this nice aluminum body, this is his travel computer. So when he goes to motels, hotels, first thing he does, he walks in, he unplugs the HDMI on their TV in the room, plugs this thing, and he's checking the internet and checking his mail and responding and all kinds of stuff using this little computer. So anyway, this allows me to, okay, I'm going to try, we're in Zoom, I'm going to try to launch VNC viewer, and I hope that our video cooperates. And there is my computer. I mean, there is my CNC, and I can do rapid movements. Like right now, I don't know if you can hear it.
No, I don't hear it, but we see what you're doing.
I told it to do a fast forward, and I don't know if I can switch cameras. Can I switch cameras?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go down to where it says stop video. There's a little up arrow next to it.
Wait, stop video. Let's see, I got to get into, where am I? Okay, I've got to get out of VNC, right?
You have to stop sharing your screen, go to video, change cameras, then share your screen again.
I think so, yeah.
Let me get out of VNC viewer. Okay, and let me get out of this because I think they're just confusing me. Okay, so there is that web page. There is a Zoom. Nope, that's not it.
No, at the very top of your screen, there should be a red box. It'll say stop
share. Okay. So
now go to the bottom in your video and change your video camera.
Advanced sharing options.
No, where it says stop video, there's an up arrow next to it. Click the up arrow and choose a different video. Select a camera and there'll be as many as you have connected.
I have a choice to share different. Oh, no, doesn't that come from my changing cameras? That okay, if I want to change, I have 2 webcams in USB. If I want to just change cameras, is there a way to do that?
Just click it, click the other one.
I don't see what you're talking about.
Or
That's the
next,
thing.
next to you where it says stop video, is there a little caret or a little up arrow?
There
Down
is
at the
nothing
bottom.
that says stop video. At the bottom, I say a share screen. Okay.
All right, to the left,
Yeah, go
all the
ahead.
way to the left.
Oh, it says stop video.
Yeah. There's a little caret next to that. Click that caret.
Oh, I see. Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Now you can share your screen, do your command, and we can watch the video, follow your command.
okay. So now I'm doing the Raspberry Pi.
Oh, you got the
And-
Raspberry Pi in already. Okay, I didn't know you got.
Okay. Raspberry Pi it's moving.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep, we see
now-
it.
Oh, you see it.
Yeah.
You see the, you see this too, right?
No, you haven't shared your screen yet.
Oh, I had to share the screen. Okay. See, I've
Well,
got
either that or
oh.
we can all put, go to speaker view and when you talk, it'll switch and you'll be highlighted. Actually, there's a way for me to spotlight you. Let's see if I can do that. Let me go back to gallery.
Well, you can see the machine. So
Yeah,
so
but I'm gonna spotlight for everyone. There we go.
There we go.
There you go.
now, so now I have to go back to the viewer, and then I can,
Yep.
you know,
it's
be
working. Yeah, we see it working.
yeah, you can't see me.
No.
But anyway, oh, it's backwards. I was wondering why
The mirror
the
view.
Allen wrenches were on the wrong side. but okay, so I'm using what's
We're
called,
probably seeing it right. You're seeing it mirror image.
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so let's stop sharing. Let's see, how do we do that? Let me get out of the VNC viewer, I guess.
You're not sharing. I'm just
I'm-
going to stop. Let's see, under speaker view. I want to stop the spotlight and I got to see how to remove spotlight. There we
There's
go.
just so many things
Okay,
going on there.
Okay, and now you can go to the view at the top right and go to gallery view and you'll see everybody on there.
I see it. Okay.
I think
Okay.
Okay. Oh, so now I can switch cameras again, huh?
Yeah,
the biggest factor here is what you are doing with a $50 computer, which you previously did with a what, a $500, $600, $700, $800 computer.
No, basically, I'm buying $1,200 computers for $800 on B&H Photo in New York, and dedicating a full Apple laptop to perform one task only, and that is to deal with like 20 kilobyte files.
And
know,
now
they're
you can
text files.
do that with a $50 computer.
Yeah, and by remote, I can be sitting at my, so I can be sitting at my computer on my Macintosh using VNC Viewer, and I can be operating, I can tell the machines to reset, recalibrate, whatever, run files, and I can open up files and I can launch, I can boot up the Raspberry Pi and have just the desktop show up. And then on my Macintosh, I can use VNC Viewer and I can see everything that's on that screen. And I can open up a G-code file in there by using the folders and double click on it, and it will automatically launch Carbide Motion and be ready to hit the start button and start milling that part that fast. But the next thing, Sean, can you hear me okay? Have you used Netatalk?
What is it?
It's very, very cool. It's very cool. So if you have a Raspberry Pi, you can use what's called NetAtalk, NETATAL, NetAtalk. And you do get my little notebook here. You do a sudo apt NetAtalk, or you do an install NetAtalk. And what it does, it opens up a file. I wonder if I have a way. Let me go to my
Well, tell us what it does.
what it does, it on my computer, I have, if I stick in a thumb drive, it shows up as a drive, right? And then I can open up that drive and I can move folders around, I can duplicate files, like, you know, I have the whole GUI interface on the Macintosh to do things, right? And that's if I stick a thumb drive in. But what happens is, by using NetAtalk, my two Raspberry Pis show up shows up as external drives on my Macintosh. So I can double click on them. I can move files around. I can drag files from the Mac and drop it right into the Raspberry Pis using the whole beautiful Apple interface. Drop and drag, copy, paste. I can open up a G-code file on the Raspberry Pi on my Mac and edit it in BBEdit, save it and close it, and it saved it on the Raspberry Pi, and that file's right.
Hey,
Yes?
Gary, for those that are listening, NetAtalk is a file server extension that makes you're able to access your Raspberry Pis. It's kind of like people that use SMB or server message block on Windows.
Right.
Since you can log into the Raspberry Pi, you can drop files onto it.
So it couldn't be any easier. You open up the NetAtalk file, and there's brackets around the word home, and then it's been commented out with semicolons. All you do is back out the semicolons on that line, and on the next line below that, you block out the commenting, semicolons. You save it, and all of a sudden those files show up on your Macintosh when you do a go and find server. It's that easy. Couldn't be any easier. If you can hit the backspace on one line and go down the next line and hit backspace twice again, it's installed. It's that easy. So basically, you're just uncommenting two lines. So other than that, I'll move. I've taken too much time, but I'm really. I'll keep you updated when the Raspberry Pi Zero W2s show up.
Oh, so you're doing all of this now with the old molasses Raspberry Pi?
No,
right?
the molasses Raspberry Pi was sent to me by Amazon because I ordered a W2, but they sent me a 1.
So the one that you're using now is what? The one that
what
you
I'm
just talked
using
about.
What I'm using right now. Have you guys ever heard of the RasPad? This is a battery operated Raspberry Pi. It has its own touch screen and a keyboard. And this is actually got a Raspberry Pi 3 in it. And then what I have running next to me is a CanaKit, which is a Raspberry Pi 4 Plus, a B Plus, 4B Plus. And that is what they're still selling today. This thing must be 3 years, 4 years old. But when I bought it, they were like $50. Do you know that those things have gone up to $150 now? So, but you can buy the basic boards, for pretty cheap. You can still buy them for $35. The thing is it's like a car. You want leather seats, you want to have the micro USB to HDMI cable. You want to have, you know, you got to have, especially on these little zeros, there's only one USB port, and you got to put a hub on it. You know, you got to put at least 3 more ports on that. And the power plug and the USB plug are micro USB. So they're the same size plugs sitting 2 holes side by side. So you don't want to put the power into the USB accidentally, you know, but it's marked so you don't make that mistake.
Sounds great.
Interesting.
I have to chuckle. Gary, when you say it's easy, it's easy for you. It may not be easy for the rest of us, but all right, let's move on. Sean, glad to see you. We thought maybe you weren't going to be coming. Did your father come down from Chicago? Is he here?
He did. He did. He's downstairs, and he's doing well.
Oh,
Yeah. So we just had dinner. Thanks for remembering. I've got a few things recently. I have a story with these the sales for the holiday season. I ordered a 50-inch TV. We had an issue with one of our TVs. I had a plasma TV from 2011 that finally started getting some vertical lines down the side. So I found a good deal. It was $248 at Walmart for this. It's an LCD Scepter TV. Not smart TV because I already have Roku, so I have a Roku plugged into it. Anyway, I bought it, unboxed it, set it up, works fine. Then I noticed, because I get these emails, that Walmart now has it for $199, so $49 less. So I opened a chat on their website and said, "Hey, I bought this last week. Can I get $49 back or a credit or whatever?" And they had no way to do that. No way to give me $49 back. However, I could take the TV, I could return the TV, and I could order a new one. That would work. I thought, what a waste of their resources and money and so forth. So that's what I did. I ordered a new TV. It came, I got it yesterday, and I it didn't even open. I put that in the car. I drove it over to Walmart.
yeah.
To get they give you a barcode, like a QR code to get a refund. I did make one mistake, and that was to go to the neighborhood market. I didn't go directly to a super center. And I thought maybe it would be an issue. So I left the TV in the car and went inside and asked if I could return, an online purchase here. I asked some flunky at the front of the store who promptly said, "Sure, you just go over to the customer service desk." I said, "Okay." So I went back out to the car and got a cart and put it on the cart and walked it in, walked all the way around, got in line, get up to the front counter. And the guy says, "Oh, we don't do that here. You have to take it to a super center." Oh, okay. And then I proceeded to let them know that they need to train their employees, because I specifically asked for that reason. I didn't want to have to anyway. But I did wind up going to Super Center, and I got my $49. I got an entire credit. It was $200.
Sean, was that the second set you got that you returned, or the first set?
I returned I ordered a set, unboxed it, set it up, and it's downstairs in the living room.
Okay, so you returned the second set.
I did.
Well, where I'm going with this is when I bought some electric hedge cutters and blowers this past end of the summer, when I was checking out, and I scanned the barcode with the barcode reader, I also had to scan the serial number on the box to get checked out. And I was just curious if the TV had the same format.
Nope, I don't think so. They
But
didn't
you
have
would
any.
know, because
Yeah, there was-
because the first time I couldn't check out, and it said to do something. I finally had to get somebody over, and I go, "They want a serial number. What the hell do I do?" And they said, "Oh, the serial number's right here." So I guess it was Hart Power Tools They got a whole bunch of stuff. They make good equipment. I bought 2 things, but
So
Probably how they do their warranty.
right,
so
Not everything, and the TV doesn't do it that way.
right.
I also, when I was talking on the chat with Walmart, expressed, they're concerned about, they're trying to keep up with Amazon. They're not even close. Because if this had happened with Amazon, I would have immediately gotten either a credit or I've never had a problem like that with Amazon. So it's obvious to me that they're backwards. And this is, by the way, this is Amazon. This is a Walmart Plus, which is $98, which I went ahead and signed up for, and I'm past my window where I can get my money back for that.
When you bought the original TV, did you walk out the store with the TV or did it get delivered?
Delivered. Everything's been delivered.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I have ordered a few things that they bring over. But the funny thing is, with Amazon, you buy it and it comes in a box or a bag or something. I have ordered a few things from Amazon or from Walmart where they obviously, somebody at the store walks around the store, picks it up, gets in a car and drives it over to me, and it's in a Walmart bag, like as if I had walked into the store and went to the cash register and they put it in a bag, and then that's how they deliver it. So it's really pretty pathetic. I've never really been a big fan of Walmart.
They thought you needed some trash bags.
Apparently, yeah. So things that I've recently purchased, since the last meeting, I purchased a second 34-inch screen for my desk. So I've got a 34-inch screen over on this side and a 34-inch screen, and they of course meet in the middle. And so it's 68 inches of screen. I my whole head, getting a kink in my neck while looking at all this. That is,
you could have a big old neck after a while.
Exactly. That's being driven by a Mac Mini, the M1 processor. I can't add any more monitors. It only supports 2 displays. And I ordered a dock. The dock is a Thunderbolt dock, which has 2 HDMI ports on it and also a display port. And I'm using the 2 HDMI ports off of that. Gary and I went back and forth a couple of times. He noticed that if he uses a Thunderbolt connection directly to a one HDMI, he gets different resolutions than if he was to come off of his HDMI off of the back of the Mac. So
you have
interesting.
Yeah, I have more choices of the higher resolutions, where if on the HDMI channel, I have more choices of lower resolutions.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And this is the Apple does not use the latest HDMI protocols. And that could change things, but as of right now, it's and to be quite frank, I am very happy with the resolution. It's ultra high definition, so it's very crisp, and the picture is fantastic. It's a Samsung 34-inch widescreen. Both of these are. So latest, I think I did send out an email to everyone about there was a discount on the Echo Dot, and I got that. I also bought a holder for it, so I put that in. I put the holder on, and then it coils the cable. It coils the cord around, and then the plug is right above it, so it just fits in the wall nicely. I have those throughout the house, and I had a couple upstairs that were the old original Dot, and I've got that one. I've got one more to replace, and then I'm done. But those it's a second. I think it's the 3rd generation Dot actually, and the speaker is excellent on that. And they're up to 4th generation now, but the 4th generation is not a puck. It's like a ball, and that isn't conducive, I don't believe, to mounting on the wall, which I like to do. I like to be able to just put it in an outlet, and it just sits down there at the outlet listening, and I can call it out.
Hey, Sean, what are you driving the TV with?
The TV? You mean the monitors?
That 34-inch. Is that a TV or a monitor?
It's just a monitor. It's a computer.
Oh, it's a monitor. Oh, okay. Okay.
I have an extra Amazon Echo, whatever this is, that, I divested myself of these things, and this is the last one that's left over. And it
Huh.
literally just plugs into the wall, you activate it, and it's an Echo. It's got a tiny little speaker, but it does have a speaker output that you can, and it also takes a Bluetooth speaker. So
That's nice. That's there's something to be said for that, because I don't, there's this long cord, and you have to, the holder that I purchased, you have to, it comes where you can coil it up and it's not seen. You can't see the cord. But if they had just sold it where it's just a plug in the wall, I think people would buy that. But
I think they stopped making this model too.
yeah, I don't think they make that model either.
But it was convenient
Yeah,
while I was using.
I'm sure it was. Yeah, now you have to buy something to make it convenient. But I'm fine. It was $6 for the for the holder. Also, when I purchased the in the link that I sent, I purchased it came with one of these bulbs. This is I can't see that. It's a Bluetooth Sengled smart lighting. It's a Bluetooth, and it pairs with your Amazon Echo. I have not used it. I'm not sure I will. It's just nice to have. And I think that's about it. I with the monitor, I did buy a mount, $27 for a VESA mount with the arm that attaches to your desk, and I'm very happy with it. It was fairly easy to set up. Holds the monitor upright. I have two. They're not identical, but not two identical mounts, but they both do the job and keep the monitors off the desk, the cables, and so I've got room to store things underneath the monitors. So I think that's it for me. So, thanks.
Okay, I want to take over now because I want to share something with you that I spent. You can't believe how much time. I'm going to start my video, and here I am. Does anyone know how to get out of that?
Your
I wait.
Huh?
Rotate your camera.
Well, yeah, but where? There's you go, you Google rotate your camera. I think I can show you exactly how to do it. And it happened at the board meeting the other night that if I go here, I'm not sharing my screen.
No.
I think I need to.
Yeah.
How do you these kind of weird things always happen to you, Stan, right?
Of course. Host disabled participant screen sharing.
Oh, he has to make you a co-host. I thought you came in on Huey's account. I don't know if I can do it. I think Huey checked out for a minute. Let me just see if I can. I may or may not be able to. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can bring you up. Stan Wallner, more. No. Apparently a co-host cannot make another co-host. So Huey will have to make you a co-host to share your.
All right, well, let me try one more thing.
Well, walk us through what you're doing. You using Zoom controls to do it? Or
Yes.
Okay. So you're under video?
Video settings.
Yeah.
Can you see that? Do you see what I'm seeing where I'm moving my screen around on a general video, audio, the controls?
No, but
In
I'll try to do it on mine. You'll see if if I rotate. So I'm going to video settings, assuming it will.
Go
Okay.
to video settings,
Yeah.
and where I see that picture in the top right corner, there's a little thing.
Oh yeah, there's a thing to rotate. Yeah.
It says rotate.
Okay, there I go.
How
Now-
arcane, how hidden could that possibly be?
See, now I'm rotated. Yeah. And now I'll probably there I am. I'm upside down. And now I'm
Yes.
rotated the other way.
Okay,
and-
you find it.
Okay, I found it. Yeah, but
I probably spent an hour and a half. It was Mark Schulman who said, oh, here's what you have to do. So it was so easy when you know how to do it. Okay.
It was under video settings.
Yeah, if you go to the little caret that's to the right of the video camera, and then from that you go to video settings, you get a resulting menu, and you look at your picture in the menu, and at the top right-hand corner of your picture, just below where the X to close the app is, there's a little square with a tiny little arrow. There you go. Yep, you found it.
Who would have thought that that was the way to do that? I mean, unless you know that, it's almost like I was going to tell you about back in New York City, the Brooklyn. Only the dead know Brooklyn. Okay, enough of that. Who else is up for doing something? Mike, you have.
I have a bunch, but I'll carry on the theme, which we probably all would like to do before I present anything. And that is what did we get, or what do we plan to get for Black Friday? So I will go
I can
ahead.
go real fast because I don't have much at all.
All right, go ahead, Paul.
All right. Well, I don't really have much, but what I've been doing, and I'm not sure if I mentioned it at the last meeting, that I bought another ham radio antenna, which has consumed most of my life. It was a used one, so I spent a lot of time resurrecting it and cleaning it up. It was in bad shape. I want to say physically, but it's, aesthetically, it was rough. I wire wheeled everything. I had to clean everything up. I worked on that for almost a week. And then I set up a test site opposite my garage on the other side of the house. And I set it up and I played with the tuning. And this is my meter that tunes antennas for SWR.
Standing wave ratio.
Yeah. And so it does all the ham frequencies. So anyway, I got familiar with the tuning and got a 62-page manual, and then I picked a spot in my backyard next to my fence, which I knew wasn't right, but I figured I'd try it. But first I set it up in the middle of the yard on another temporary pole. And everything still looked kind of okay. And then I moved it to my permanent, and it worked terrible. So now I had to jack out my 2-inch stainless steel galvanized pipe. I had to beat it into the ground with a sledgehammer. Now I had to take it out, which actually was really easy because I came up with a really good idea. So I take it out and I move it further away from my house into a little, I got acreage. So now I'm on the other side of my backyard fence, and which is kind of away from everything. And I've been playing with it over there for a couple of weeks now, and it's pretty much up and running. I'm still playing with this and seeing about that. So that's been my focus the last month roughly. I'm not even sure. I don't know how much time has passed, but it's just kind of consumed me, how that goes when you're really focused on something. And I still have to do my chores on the property. So,
well, carrying out what I was saying when we switched to you is what have you gotten for Black Friday, or what do you plan to get for Black Friday, if anything?
Nothing. I have everything. The last thing I got from around Black Friday was this computer I'm using right now, and I really don't need. I really don't have any need of anything currently. The only thing I almost needed was a mouse for my Windows 7 desktop computer, which the switch for the left switch that's used all the time became bouncy, you know, and I click on something and I could see that the button would just kind of go crazy, like if you clicked on it like 5 times. And I was deleting emails, my email, and I have to go and retrieve them. I mean, it became a nightmare. I wasn't sure what was wrong, and I tried another mouse, and that seemed to be okay. So last night, I took the mouse apart, because it was either that, take it apart and try to fix it, or get another one. So I said, well, let me take it apart. So, you know, it comes right apart, one screw, and full of dust. So, you know, I take it out to the garage to the air compressor and I blow it all out. And then I bring it back and I drop some alcohol down in the switch. It was basically a sealed switch, and I got nothing to lose here. So I did it like 3 times, and I kind of, you know, blew all the alcohol out and put it back together, and it seems to be working okay. So I'm real happy with that little effort. And then we bought a mouse for Mindy's MacBook, a wireless Bluetooth mouse that I talked to Sean about once. And I ended up with, she liked this pink mouse. So I looked at all the specs on it. So we got it, it's rechargeable. And it was easy to pair. And she's using it. It goes to sleep, but it says just move it to wake it up, but it's got this interesting other button on it called DPI. And it has to do with dots per inch and a printer. But I'm not sure, you know, how it controls the resolution of the printer. But what it does is it wakes up the mouse, which I had to figure out, because she calls me when she says the mouse won't come back, you know. And so anyway, that, you know, first I turned it off and turned it back on, but then I finally figured out it was that little button that wakes it up. So I do have pictures of my antenna installation. I got some on the Windows 7. I got some in my camera. I got some in my phone. And I really didn't have time to get my act together for a decent presentation today. So I thought I'd just talk about it. Maybe next time I'll show you some pictures. So
Okay.
that's it for today, folks.
Okay, I won't go into my presentation mode yet. I'll just stay on the theme of Black Friday. A little before Black Friday, this little gal popped into our lives. That is my new great-granddaughter, and her name is Memphis, which is what you're seeing on my background. So I created a little welcome screen for Memphis and sent it to my granddaughter to put in her photo album. Sean hit the theme just right. And I've been talking to Huey about it earlier. About 15 to 18 years ago, on a Father's Day weekend, Circuit City, if you remember them, had a sale on Sony XPR2 TVs. And it was a 52-inch with probably a 6-inch glass frame around it, which made it look like a big picture frame, made it look bigger. And that's been operating flawlessly as I speak through today. But I've been after a new TV now for about 5 years, and I just decided to treat myself. So I'm buying a new Sony 75-inch. And I got the white glove delivery set up, configuration, all the rest of that, take the old TV away kind of thing. And December 9th is my appointment for them to come bring the new TV in. Primary reason, go ahead.
I was going to ask you if that was a plasma TV.
The old one? No.
Yeah.
No,
No?
LCD with the fluorescent tubes edge lighting them.
Right.
Before the edge lighting, LED lighting. Still working, you know, works fine, but I want a 4K TV while I can still see it. So
Curved screen.
no, straight. No, I do have a curved screen 32-inch monitor similar to Sean's Samsung. Mine is a I don't even know, it's an off brand. I don't know what brand it is. I'd have to look at it. next time I start it up, but it's 32 inches. And when you see me glancing off here, that's running my game, my perennial game that's on all the time. And then the other Black Friday item I sent out to the TechSIG, and that's the P-Cloud in the cloud storage system. They're offering their lifetime, and we wonder whose lifetime that is, storage. You can get it either in a 500 gigabyte or a 2 terabyte storage capability. And Sean and I have Synology disk stations. He did a little research project that we're going to talk about here when we both get some free time, and showed me how I can actually access P-Cloud without having to do it through my computer, which seems to be the way to get some automatic backup and still have it accessible to me from other computers that have access to P-Cloud. So that with a 2 terabyte backup in the cloud and a 2 terabyte USB drive attached to it for backup, I have double redundancy, if you will, on backup for the Synology. So the rest of my Black Friday I bought today at Costco. Went in and I bought some filet mignon. Everybody was after turkeys and ham, and nobody was at the beef aisle, and they had some phenomenal fillets. So that's going to be our dinner, grilled outside. So let's see, who has not talked about their acquisitions? Huey. Unmute yourself, Huey.
No, it's better if I don't, probably. You'll notice that it's not a bad camera right now, but I don't have a light on. All I've got is a little, about a 40-watt light behind me. And that's the only light in the room. If I turn my light on, let's see how bright it is here.
Oh,
A
wow.
lot brighter. Yeah, it's a lot brighter, but still, I really don't need it. It's almost too bright. And I have adjustments and I can adjust it down. I'm going to turn it off for right now.
That's the one that's actually on your monitor, isn't it? That you said that.
That's correct. And I'm going to share my screen. I can share the sound, although I don't need to. And share. And it is a center cam. It clips on the top of my monitor. And then it's got a clip, and it's flexible, and I can change the length. It's got probably about a foot length of flexible, and then the rest is just a pretty good cable, several feet long. And that's the size of the camera. Let's see, I think they got, and it's just a little teeny round thing. But it was an Indiegogo, and it came about 2 weeks ago or a week ago. And it's sitting, it's not really in the center of my screen because my monitor is up a little bit higher and I'm up a little bit higher. So but as I look straight into it, I'm looking straight into the camera, and it's right in the, close to the center of my screen to the sides, but it's above center. But I can adjust it any way I want. I can turn it a little bit. And it also has a second lens, but I haven't been able to get the old lens off, and I don't want to force it, or the current lens off. But this one's 65 millimeter and the other one is 50 something. So it should be a narrower, I think it's 65 degree and the other one's 55 degrees or something like that. So it should bring it in a little bit more. So I don't have to worry about the sides when I put my screen up. But I've been really pleased with it.
Does that sort of interfere with what you're looking at on the screen since it's right in front of you?
Kind of get used to it. Once in a while, there's a couple letters it's covering up or something, but for the most part, no. You get used to it for being there. And
I wonder if a standard camera, like I'm using a Logitech, and it's mounted on the top right. So where my hand is, it's about here. Yet, as I look at myself in the screen, I'm centered. So I'm wondering if they put a little adjustment or parallax or something in to make it look like it's at the center of the screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when you're looking at the camera, it's different as when you're looking at the screen.
True.
Where this is, if I'm looking at the screen, I'm looking at the camera at the same time. So when you see your eyes, you're looking at the screen, you're not looking at the camera. But so I've been really pleased with it. It did come with, let's see if I can get one of these out. This isn't the one that came with it, but it's exactly like it. But it does come with a little portable. It's got a clip on the bottom that you can put on top, and that's a light. It's got three. I'll do it to the side here, and then put it in front of me. And then it's got one that's a little bit oranger, and one that's really bright. And it's USB charged, and it was about $10. That's all that cost. And it's got the clip that I can clip right on. Let's see, move it in front of me here. It's got a clip. You just clip it on the top of your monitor. And so it's very portable. So you can move it from any machine, use it with any machine instead of the big one I have that's on a tripod.
Hey, Huey,
Yeah.
looking at watching you, obviously you're not sitting in a place where there's a bridge behind you. I'm assuming.
No, I've got the background, and parts of my head disappear, and my hair looks a little bit orangey.
Yeah, so that artifacting that is happening around your head.
Yeah,
that
that's a Zoom thing.
It's a Zoom, but does it happen on mine too?
Not as much.
Not as much.
Like I can see Sean's ears where Huey's ears are clipped, and I think mine are as well. So
is that a video card thing, or
It has to do with the light,
it
the
could-
lighting.
yeah.
If I turn the lighting on, it's a little bit better.
Yeah, I can see your headsets now.
So,
Yeah.
Sean, are you saying that is not your actual residence that we're seeing behind you?
No, that's a very popular apartment from a TV show in the 90s.
Okay.
You don't recognize it?
Is Seinfeld going to walk through the door or not?
That's right. That's Seinfeld.
I think it's a combination of your video processing. I know when Zoom first came out with the ability to do backgrounds, they wanted you to put a green screen behind you. And that's still a checkbox that you can check that you have a green screen.
And I do have one, and plus I got a big green screen cloth, and I got my other screen that goes around me that looks like I'm in a basket, that I don't use any background, then everything shows properly. I just didn't set it up tonight.
You're using the green screen right now?
No, I'm just using the virtual background of Zoom, and I've got several of them. I can change it.
You
at
notice
will.
the artifacting when you're using the green screen as well?
Not nearly. No, I don't think I do. I don't recall. It's been a long time since I've used the green screen.
You've just got good, I think you've got good video processing in your Apple, Sean. That's
Yeah, maybe.
what may be doing it. Donna has joined us. Donna, and I assume Ken is.
She's been on for quite a while.
Yeah, so Donna, why don't you tell us what your plans are for Black Friday? Any acquisitions in line? If you unmute. If we didn't put you to sleep.
I didn't talk about what I am looking to buy for Black
Okay,
Friday.
yeah, what are you looking for?
What did I just do with that? Show you.
Got a long list.
Oh, here it is. I use a bone, what do they call it? A bone speaker. It doesn't fit in your ear. It kind of goes around your ear, and but you can hear it. I've been using this at night, and I just put it over my ear, and then I have so I can lay on it. It's flat. It's not very thin. It's not very thick. Let's see if I can get it here. You can see it's not very thick. And it pairs. It's a Bluetooth, and it pairs with my my old iPad Air, and I listen to podcasts while I'm laying in bed, and puts me to sleep. And I wake up in the middle of them, and I have all kinds of weird dreams. But I would like to get one of those bone headsets that that I've seen advertised, the Aftershocks one I like, it's about 159 bucks. They're supposed to run a big special on Thanksgiving Day, but they aren't saying how much. So I'm looking forward to, I haven't figured out, let's see if I can find that. Not sure my screen, sure sound. Let's go here. And let's see, is this the one? Yeah, this is the one I would like to get, but it's got a microphone on it, which I thought would be good. But then again, then I can't wear it if I'm going to lay down in bed because it'll break. I'm sure I'll break it off. So I was looking at another one, but you know, at $159, I'm figuring maybe they're going to sell them for about 80, 85 bucks, but I'm not going to buy two. I'm not going to buy one that's got this and then one that's, let's see here. Another one I was looking at of theirs, it was a different model, but it didn't have the microphone, but very similar, also the same price. And, but they've got several different ones. Some are 5.2 Bluetooth and some are 5.1 and some are 4.2. And I don't want the 4.2. You don't get the time, you don't get as much time on a charge. It's just not as good. I like the 5.0, at least 5.0 Bluetooth. And so that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm hoping to get. And that'll be my holiday present for myself.
Donna, are you with us yet?
She's unmuted now.
Yeah, she's unmuted. Okay. Stan, you were going to share your screen earlier. Did you want to tell us about your Black Friday plans?
Well, I'm just doing something that I hadn't realized was my problem. I'm going to start my video. And you were just talking about video cameras. Earlier, I spoke to you about the $20 deal that I got at Walmart with a built-in camera with lights. It's got a light, three level light thing. And I just discovered looking at it, I took it off to try it on another computer. It didn't work. It's Bluetooth and had a problem with it. And I just realized that the problem with the fuzziness was that there was a clear plastic screen, you know, like a plastic protection thing that you had to peel off, and I hadn't peeled it off. Got rid of that, and that is now doing much better. So that's kind of funny, I thought. And if I'm sharing my screen again, here's that little dinghy that you turn around, and there you go, four ways you can turn it off. Okay, I'm gonna kill that part of it. And the other couple of things I wanted to mention, I don't know how many of you exercise regularly. I have an air bike and a cardio glide facing my TV set that way, and I try to spend 15 minutes on each every night. And my doctors are of mixed opinion about this, but I often have 1 or 2 or 3 beers while I'm doing that. And it seems to work for me. I'm a news junkie. I know a couple of you are as well. So I'll watch the TV. I'm going to watch the TV anyway. And I kind of killed 2 birds with one stone. And I had an air bike that I must have picked up 5 years ago from a friend of mine that a couple of you know. It was a huge thing, and it had been assembled wrong. And I brought it back to my place, and after a while, I figured out what was wrong with it. And man, that was just fantastic. It had a fan, and it's not just, you know, your legs, but it had handlebars that moved that way. So you got both your upper and lower body. So about 4 months ago, that started really failing to the point where even after taking it and parts to be welded and rebuilding, screwing bolts and that sort of thing, I finally got rid of that and picked up one for, gee, I think I saw it at an estate sale for $50 on a Friday, and I went back on the Saturday and it was $20. They took 60% off. And it was probably built in 1990. It's much smaller, but it does everything that the old one did. So that was fine. But the cardio glide that I have has also been, all sorts of, duct tape and coat hanger wire, drilling holes. And that just snapped on me just 2 weeks ago, and it took several hours for me to straighten that out, but finally got that going very well. So good shape with that. Let's see, I think I had one more. Oh,
Buy
hearing aid.
anything?
Hmm?
You gonna buy anything for Black Friday, Cyber Monday?
No, we pretty much buy, we need something, we go out and we buy it. But like, I was just gonna say, my hearing aids, about 3.5 years ago, I bought this set of hearing aids for like $3,500, the most I ever spent for them. They were the best I ever had, and they were still just futzy as hell. And finally, one of them started, the buttons on the back started working properly, stopped working properly. And when I went back to see them, they said, well, it's out of warranty. And it's probably going to cost you at least $2,000-3,000 to replace them or repair them, which we don't recommend. You ought to start all over again. Anyway, what I discovered was that my HMO Advantage, health coverage, Freedom Health HMO, suddenly decided that they're going to say, okay, you get $500 per ear towards hearing aids. And I checked them. I took the one that wasn't working properly back to Florida Medical Hearing. There's one on Lee Road. They've got probably 15 in the area. They were recently acquired by Hear USA, and they had a deal that these guys were, yeah, there it is, with the HMO at $500 per ear, and these were normally $3,000. And so it cost me $990 to get them just a week or two ago. But the only difference is that these, the part that actually goes into your ear are very soft, and they slip in and they slip out. So if you're not careful, you sit down, like I went and got a haircut a few days ago, and I took my glasses off and my mask off, and the hearing aid fell off, and the barber, she found it. Oh, it was on my shirt. Just fell out. But anyway, these are very, very good. So now I'm spending a lot of time trying to discover how to get a reasonably priced set of the custom ear mold that fit tightly in there and they won't fall out. So.
Yeah, I remember our friend Dave Eames, that used to be his sales job, is selling those ear molds that you see all the squibs that the performers have when they're on stage, and it's custom in their ears.
Well, he used a company called Precision Ear Mold, which was near Altamont and near Costco in Altamont Springs. And suddenly I was there like 3 years ago and got a set of ear mold made custom ear molds made for $50 for the pair. And I went back there a few months ago and discovered they had moved out. There was no notice. And when I Googled the company, I couldn't find anything. And I just recently found out they were bought by another company called Audina, which is also in Longwood off of 434. And they're now charging $175 for a pair. And I found that Sam's Club will sell them for $80 a pair if they happen to be the same size as their own, the ones that they sell. I haven't checked Costco yet. I got a couple of other options, but those are the kinds of things that are keeping me busy these days. But
Yeah.
we're looking
Audina-
forward to.
Audina used to be right around the corner when we had TSD
Yeah,
on a corner of Wildmere and was it? I still remember the road that we were on, but they were right around the corner. We did some computer work for them, and the guy who owned Audina. I did some work for him as well. Nice people, but what was that? 50 years ago, 40
Yeah.
years ago.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah.
I see Donna has rejoined us from another computer. You want to unmute and tell us what your Black Friday plans are, if any?
Nothing. My desktop, the external mic I have, it wouldn't turn on no matter what we did. So I just switched. Alexa's going off now. We're not buying anything for Black Friday because we can't think of anything we need. However, because of Huey, I bought that broom at Indiegogo. And then my husband has been working on trying to get the TV to work for local stations. They promise you the digital stations will work. Well, guess what? We've had a lot of problems. So he just bought an omnidirectional antenna, and we'll see if it works. But that's it. There's nothing we can think of we need.
Is
So
there any way for you to get that antenna outside and as high as possible? Or is it going to be stuck inside?
It's going to go outside. He has a pole where he took down the other one. He did get, there's an interior HD antenna, and set in a window, he can get certain channels. We can't get PBS, so I continue to pay. And it should be digital, right? Anybody else get PBS without paying? Anyway.
Yes.
I pay $5 a month. I don't know how to get that on my Get It Free anymore.
You don't know how to get PBS free?
Where do you live?
Olympia, Washington. And he's done the antenna search and whatever. So we'll see if this new omnidirectional antenna will work. We'll just have to wait. It's on order, just as in here. So
I use PBS channel on my Roku, and I don't pay for that. I just had to create an account, but it's there's no fee. But I'm not positive that it actually. Are you looking for live programming?
well, right now I'm streaming, and I guess I'm not sure I can even get the live programming free. They asked for a code on our Roku to even get PBS.
Yeah, well, the code is just. What do you mean by code? Are you talking about to get it to work?
For us to sign to get a code, and we had to go through everything
Carrier.
to get a code.
Well, you get the code comes up, so they want you to have an account, and there's no charge to create an account with pbs.org. And then you go to that link that they create and put the code in, and then that authorizes your Roku to be using that app. But there was no fees. I would look at that again.
Okay, I'll have to check that out anyway. So that's what we've been working on. But so nothing that I can think of on Black Friday. I've already bought my grandkids Christmas gifts and everything else, so I'm in good shape. I'm spending more money. But thanks for your patience for me to get a mic working. Okay, bye-bye.
I'm going to share my screen and show what she's talking about here. Let's see if I can bring it up here, share. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's
That's the mop.
it's kind of it's a mop, it's a squeegee, it's a broom, and it's an Indiegogo, and it says that they're shipping in February or January. So we'll see. There shouldn't be any parts that they can't get, electronic parts, because there aren't any.
No chips.
So maybe there won't be a backlog on it, and they'll manufacture them, and as long as there's not a shipping problem, we'll get it in January.
If it's not stuck on a ship in the San Francisco.
Yeah, that's the only problem. Yeah.
Since Donna did join us, we did a Zoom. We did a phone call today, but we did some Zooming this week, and we had a chance to check out Zoom's remote control and try it out. And the one positive thing I will say about it is that you can make a recording while you're doing remote control with the other person, and then either send the video or put it up on YouTube and send the link, and that person then has the video so they can go back through everything that you did. So I do find that since TeamViewer doesn't seem to have that capability, that seemed pretty good. And it was fairly easy to set up in Zoom. And even the free accounts have that capability for up to the amount of time that you can keep a conference going, which I think right now is 40 minutes.
Well, isn't it with the free account, if you're one-to-one, it's not 40 minutes?
Right. If you're not good, it works 40 minutes in a group, but one-to-one, there's no time limit.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay. All right. Well, good, because we were using the paid account to do it, so I wouldn't have to do that then. Okay. Well, that's something to know for next time.
Perfect to get video. With learning experiences.
Yes, lots of learning experiences. And the tip of the week is, if you are backing up to an external hard drive using any image backup program, external hard drives by default usually come formatted in FAT32. FAT32 has a 32 gigabyte file limit. So typically then what happens is your image backup program will divide the image up into multiple files for the size that you put there. So I usually recommend, I forgot to do it this time, but I usually recommend that the external hard drive be reformatted in NTFS. And if you're going to allocate that external hard drive exclusively to your images, when you do the format, choose the largest file allocation size so that you have the largest individual allocation units rather than a whole bunch of little allocation units.
Mike,
Yeah,
what's the file limit
I believe it's 32 gigabytes
for FAT32?
for FAT32.
It's 4 gigabytes.
4 gigabytes.
Or
Okay, so you get even more files. So thank you. My recall was bad. And Donna, that's why you got a whole bunch of files then when you made your first backup. So. All right, well, Stan, if you'd like me to, I will spend, everybody has the duration stamina, I've got about 15 minutes and I'll try to make it as entertaining as I can.
Yeah, let's go back to the big screen. We're still on.
Go to screen 2. Share, and then I am going to switch to desktop number 2. I really like, I'm learning to use, and I really like the multiple windows desktops, especially in Zoom when you're going to be sharing things. So that gets rid of all the garbage that's there. This is the Brave browser.
Oh,
And
how come I'm not seeing it?
are you guys seeing my screen?
Yeah,
Yes.
but not the browser. Oh, you're moving it around. Okay.
You see the mouse pointer moving?
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. So this is the Brave browser, and this is our website. And when I gave the presentation on the main meeting, I talked about the fact that Brave has a series of features that help to randomize the browser and to also screen for tracking. And if you will notice, we're on the CFCS.org website, and the little Brave icon that is right here by the end of the URL has no numbers next to it. That means that our website has no trackers embedded in them, which is pretty nice. We wouldn't want to have trackers on our website. So then I said, I wonder how many trackers a site like, let's say, CNN might have. So I brought up CNN,
Oh,
and I believe the number is 27. So
yeah.
just going to CNN, there are 27 trackers. If I click on that, it said shields are up. Yeah, yes, they are. Raise shields, Captain. And there are 27 cross-site trackers and other creepy things blocked. So you could go into it. Now, what is a cross-site tracker? A tracker means that you go to the site and the cookie is embedded in your browser. And then you go to some other site and that cookie's still there. And you go to that other site and it's a cross site. Now it will see what you're doing on that other site, even though you've left the site that this thing put it on. So the nice thing is that Brave by default has this capability built into it. And the other thing we showed at the main meeting was a site from the Electronic Frontier Foundation called Cover Your Tracks. And we would test our browsers. So in Brave, I'm going to very quickly test the browser. We did this at the main meeting. It's testing and testing and testing. Okay, so the tests indicate that we have strong protection against web tracking, but the software is not checking for do not track policies. And that's something I have not specifically gone through myself to check out. However, we also discussed at some length that fingerprinting is the ability of the receiving site getting your transmission to identify your specific session and your particular browser uniquely to you. So you go to the site, like I just went to CNN. If I had turned off the shields, my browser would be fingerprinted. Then if I went back to CNN on a later day, it could then say, ah, that's Mike Ungerman, because I know he's coming to me from the same browser. And so what they're saying essentially is that Brave itself has internal workings that are randomizing my fingerprint. And then they give you the details of what's going on. So they're saying, for example, that this particular agent, the Mozilla agent, the Apple WebKit that's in here, the Chrome, Gecko, and it says Safari, and I can't imagine I have anything from Safari in Brave. But anyway, there's 5.76 bits of identifying information, and they're saying 1 in 54.04 browsers have this value. So that's a medium high number. So again, if 54 of us went there, they're saying I would be 1 in 54. If I go down to some of the higher numbers, let's see if there's anything that's really high on this. This is actually a good one. It's saying that limited super cookie test, it's saying only 1 in 2.6 browsers would have this value. So that's pretty good. I'm pretty low on that. Oh, here we go. Okay, they're telling me that for Google is detecting that I have an AMD Radeon 9 Series 2 Direct. So this is my graphics card. And I do have a unique gaming graphics card. And it's sending out 13.32 bits of information. And it's saying 1 in 10,239 browsers would have this identification value. So obviously, I'm kind of unique. And if I keep going to sites that has that particular tracker on it, they're going to know it's me. But many of these other items are hidden. So this particular one, a DNT header enabled, being false, they're saying it has 0.89 bits of information, and only one in essentially two browsers might have this information. So we have an idea, in essence, that in general, Brave has the capability to hide some of these things. And there's still things I could probably do to make me more not visible, but it's there by default. So I just wanted to show, by way of lead-in, what we did cover in going through a number of the browsers. I'm going to close Brave and talk about the Tor project. And
Mike,
yeah, go ahead.
before you close Brave out, can
Okay.
you go to windowscentral.com?
All right, let me bring it back over here. Let me reopen Brave. Bring it back in. And go to windowscentral.com.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, there are 16 cross-site trackers and other things blocked.
Scroll to the bottom of that page. Just hold down the end key. Click
Hold
out of
on.
that. Click out of that drop down. There you go. Now just hold the end key down for a couple seconds. End on your keyboard.
Oh, end,
End.
sorry.
END. Yep. I was wondering if that number would go up from 16.
I think they pick it up from the whole. Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
this
if I went to one of these, let me just pick on one of these and see if 16 goes up by clicking on one. Okay, it went up to 20 by going to one of the articles.
Yeah. This is one of the best sites for testing your ad blockers. Windows Central. It's horrid. It's known to be a horrid website for that kind of, for tracking.
Well, let's hold that in mind. And then when I bring in, first of all, I'm just going to copy that to my clipboard. Okay. I have not seen yet whether Tor will give us a count or not, but I wanted to go ahead and talk a little bit about it. The Tor project came out of a lot of the leaks that like Snowden and others, leaked data. And it looks like it wants me to restart. I'm not going to at the moment. But essentially in 2006, they formalized their project. And the idea is Tor stands for the onion router. And the idea is that if you can get a series of servers spread around the world and route, kind of like a VPN does, route each packet of information that your applications, and in this case, the browser, sends out, each packet goes to a different server. And then from that server, it goes to its destination, and then it's returned to a different server because the packet has the address that you're supposed to reply to. And then the server receiving it then sends it back to you. And it makes it very hard to track where the packet originated from and where the destination was. And so a whole project was created. The goal of onion routing was the way to use the internet with as much privacy as possible and to route traffic through multiple servers and encrypt it each step of the way. And that's still a simple explanation for how Tor works today. So if you want the real, the full details on it, the web link is the torproject.org. And then from the torproject.org, you can click on history and you can get that information. Now, the actual promotion for Tor, when you go on, they're going to say, I can go into a more private and secure mode. So if I wish, I can turn it on. So I can say, always prioritize the Tor onions. I just happen to be accessing the site with it. At the moment, I'm just going to say not now, and we'll continue with the presentation. So essentially, when you go to their project, you get some background, and essentially they're saying they block trackers And I don't know, I'm just looking up here now to see. You can actually set up a new identity. I was looking to see if they're going to give me a count. So right now, they're not telling me that they're going to display any trackers. You'd wonder if the Tor project would have trackers anyway. Okay. Technically speaking, they want to defend against surveillance. They, like other, just like Brave, want to resist fingerprinting. They want to have multi-layered encryption in the transmission and the reception. And they're saying it happens 3 times as it passes over their network. And then it's comprised of thousands of volunteer-run servers known as Tor relays, and literally all around the world. And then theoretically, you are free to access sites your home network itself may have blocked. So more information on Tor. When you set it up, they'll run you through a sequence. They'll take you to privacy. They'll talk about trackers and snoopers. They'll talk about the network itself, and they'll let you adjust your network settings here from this, or you can do it from the settings tab later. They will actually let you see the domain you're visiting and how many times it's relayed. So right now I'm connected to the Tor project to see this website. So if I want to see my path to it, they'll open up a new tab. And I use DuckDuckGo as my landing page anyway, so it's figuring it out. I should get a pop-up here shortly. I don't see it doing it. Let me see. I got it earlier. So make a liar out of me. Let me go back again, try that link one more time. See my path. There we go. Okay, so they're saying how do circuits work? They're made up of randomly assigned relays. They're computers around the world configured to forward your traffic. The circuits allow you to browse privately and connect to onion services. So now this is kind of like the command trace RT that you can enter into the Windows command line and also in Linux. So this, it's saying this diagram shows the delays that make up the circuit for this website. And if that's too small, let's see if I can make this bigger here with a Control plus or not. No, it's just the main screen. So the Tor circuit, they're basically saying I'm in this browser. Then in the United States, I went to this IP address, 205.185.119.122. And it apparently is considered a guard. So that guard lets you into the Tor network. And then it jumps to Germany, a second site in Germany. Then it jumps to a relay that I don't see the IP address, it's hidden. Another relay, and then it went to the DuckDuckGo site that brings up this tracker. And if I wish, I could say, well, let me route it differently and give me another circuit. So, you know, it's quite a bit of paranoia behind this, and yet people who definitely want to have private sessions, the Tor browser may be a way to do it. Let me just see what the third thing is. And do you need a new circuit? And they're talking about that. Okay.
Mike,
Yep, go ahead.
as I recall many years ago in my days of looking at pirate sites and that sort of thing, a lot of them used Tor, and what it did was it not only let you use other servers around to do this, but it also allowed other servers to use part of your drive as one of the relay points as well. And there was a lot of worry and concern about that because your drive was exposed.
I'm trying to think of the term. It's not Tor. It's oh, I got a mind blank. It'll come back to me. I know exactly what you're talking about. It works in parallel with the Tor project, and if I remember correctly, Brave has a setting for it. Let me see if I still have Brave up. Yeah, I do. Let me go into my settings here. Okay, settings. It is,
DNS over HTTP.
I think it is sites and shield, sync, search extensions, wallet, IPFS got in there too. Hang on. Don't know if that's, it's in here. Maybe under the shields. Scripts, cookie blocking, social media, privacy and security. It keeps popping back on. It'll come back to me and I'll do a follow-up in an email.
Okay.
But as the Tor project stands now, it's designated servers and your computer is not hosting anything. I think you can join the Tor project if you wish, and they'll ask you a whole bunch of questions about the kind of computer you've got, the kind of network you're on, and they'll qualify you to be a server if you've got the equipment and you pass their requirements. But this, as they've set this up now, you're not participating other than you originate a request and then you get the reply. Okay, so we've taken a look at the history about, we've seen some of these. All right, so now the real question is, all right, let's test the browser and see what it says. And I don't think I did this test at the main meeting. So let's see how the cover your tracks compares to what we had. And while it's doing that, I'm going to go to cover your tracks on the other one. And I'm going to test that too. So I'll have them side by side here in a minute. I do notice that it's taking much longer in the Tor browser. Okay, so strong protection. And interestingly enough, they don't say that I'm no longer having do not track policies. So they must have do not track policies set up. And it says I've got partial protection for fingerprinting. Interesting. Okay, so let's see if I can display this more or less, switching back and forth between them. So if I come to this and make it half the screen. And then bring in Brave next to it, make it half the screen. Okay, so this is Brave on the left. And this is Tor on the right. Okay, so, all right, starting out with the initial user agent, the lower numbers are better. So I'm 1 in 27 for this particular specification versus 1 in 54. I am about the same in headers. I am much better in Tor with 1 in a little less than 2 as opposed to 1 in 9. Now, I'm in, this is interesting. So the Tor browser is saying that I am at GMT. And the Brave browser is saying, no, I'm at, the current time zone, 6 hours, I guess. What is 6 times 5? So yeah, it's five hours difference. So this one is a little better. And yes, this confirms it. So the Tor browser is operating in UTC, which is GMT. and the Brave browser is operating in New York. Screen depth and color. Oh, no, this is interesting. So in Tor, now I have only one screen size and color depth. I would have to actually look up my screen size, which this one, I'm pretty sure is closer to what I'm actually looking at than this one, but neither one is my exact resolution. So the browsers themselves could be obfuscating that data. But for the moment in Tor, I'm 1 in 4,618, which is considerably higher and pretty unique. Now, if I run this again a second time and that number changes, then they're obfuscating the data. And that's what I do recommend you do, is run this test several times in whatever browser you're using to see if it comes out exactly the same or it's different. And if it's different, then the browser, and the browser has those capabilities, it's randomizing the data. And another one I was talking about was system fonts. And this one, I know that the data is being obfuscated by both browsers. Obviously, I've got more fonts installed in Brave, according to this, than I do in Tor. And the cookies are there. Bits of identifying information are about the same, and this is the same. So both of them, it's a very low value. So it's a good low number. It's just about every browser that's doing this test as cookies enabled. Okay, so you get the idea. It's got a tool that you can play with, and if you were doing sensitive information transfer using a browser transfer type utility between two people, you might want to use a browser like Tor to make sure that your information was encrypted and to make sure that it would be very hard to track if that's what you wish to do. It seems to be, from the browsers that I've looked at, the most enabled for security and privacy. And I still have yet to extensively go through all of the settings, which, here we go, I guess it's under options, all of the settings, and you go through and see what they've got for privacy and securities and so on. And right now, it's not even storing cookies and site data, according to this. Questions? Back out of this.
What's the, have you noticed a big difference, Mike, in the transfer speeds of the data over Tor versus just regular?
Well, just now when we did that test, Brave was finished with the test probably 50% faster than Tor was, 50–60% faster. So Tor was sending that data through its 3 key sites and any intermediary sites, and then it was out and back and out and back. So it took, it will take longer. I wouldn't watch a movie on using Tor, for example.
Right.
In future sessions, I have not covered a new browser called LibreWolf, which I discovered for Linux, but it is available for Windows. And it is a fork of Firefox and Mozilla.
Something proves.
And I talked a little bit about ungoogled Chromium. And ungoogled Chromium says that they are taking out all of the embedded code that's in the Chrome browser or in the Chromium browser that could report trackers to Google. And I have no way of really checking that other than going to the same sites and then running that test. I'm back in, and I don't know what kicked me out, but I got kicked. So there'll be a little gap in the recording. Back to you, Stan. Am I back? Am I not back?
Do any of you know if you use the Tor browser and you send an email, should the other person open it with Tor, or does it matter what program they open that email with?
Or it's not an email program.
Yeah.
So how are you sending it?
Sent it. Oh, it's just a browser. There's no,
just a
okay.
browser.
Just the browser.
Yeah. And Proton Mail, for example, which both of us use, if two Proton Mail users send and receive emails from each other, it's end-to-end encrypted. It's encrypted from you to the server, wherever the server is located, either Switzerland or Sweden, and most likely. And then from there to your computer, where it's decrypted. If I send
there's
it,
Mike.
Yeah, Mike, you're back.
Well-
You've been gone.
Well-
Your picture's frozen and we just
And
heard a
we
little
only-
bit of your audio.
Yes.
oh, I've been talking to Don. Yeah, as I came out of
I can
tour, it
see
kicked me
Stan
out.
moving.
Donna's question was, for using the Tor browser, is it encrypted? And my comment and Huey's comment were no. But I made the comment that, oh, well, it looks like I'm cutting in and out. And everybody is frozen.
In there.
Am I back?
Well,
Your audio was, yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I'm getting notices that my internet connection is low, and I'm
You
watching
locked
my
up again.
route.
yeah. Must be
Okay.
poor bandwidth or something.
Yeah, it could
Or
be.
his new TV, or his new TV's not working right.
Yeah, the new
No.
TV.
Tor
Which he
browser.
There's
doesn't have
Paul.
yet.
Paul's back.
Zoom was doing this to us on the APCUG conference the other day. And John Kennedy said that he thought that there was a problem.
We
with
lost you
Limited
again.
bandwidth, I think.
Yeah, Mike, you keep going away.
Okay, I'll shut up.
We have no audio from you right now.
Okay.
Okay. I
Stan,
got something to
you're,
Over to Stan or Huey, whoever's got it.
Stan,
You want me to share
Stan-
something? Can I share something?
Sure, go ahead.
guys, I'm going to have to say goodnight. So,
Oh, well, see this. Hold on.
okay.
Do you have Canopy? Do you have Canopy?
No,
Howard?
I got a can of corn, but no can of peas.
Okay. Do you have a library? Do you have a library card?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. If you have a library card and you know your PIN number for your library card,
Yeah.
you can go to canopy.com, KANOPY.com. I could leave that in the notes if you want that in a chat.
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
let's put it
Okay.
in the chat.
And here, so what I want you to do is, let's see, where do I type? Okay, right here. This is, if you see here, it says OC Library.
You're not sharing your screen, so we don't see it.
No, no, if you go to chat. If you go to chat.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the link is there, yeah.
Okay, now that is linked to UHF. Now see this background? That's Weird Al Yankovic. And in 1988, I was featured in a movie, and Canopy has just now released this on their network. And you can watch the movie UHF on Canopy. You can watch it on your Rokus, your smart TVs, your tablets, your phones, whatever, your computers. And this was, I auditioned against 500 people to be in this movie. And there was an ad in the newspaper for asking for entertainers that can do something unusual. and I competed against 500 other entertainers, but somehow mine was more unusual than everybody else's, and I got the part in the movie.
All right.
And I'm in, and if you watch the movie, 17 minutes before the end of the movie, getting close to the grand finale, they feature me on stage dressed as Uncle Sam on 30-inch tall stilts with arm stilts that articulate. They're basically hand crutches that I modified so I could turn the hand grips, and they would move a hand at the end of the crutches. And I did a boogie woogie tap dance in this movie, dressed as Uncle Sam with these arm stilts, on stilts, tap dancing to raise money for the UHF TV station. And when it was my time to be in the movie, they had to raise the lights like 3 feet in the studio. And then I did my part. Then they lowered the lights back down. And then I taught Weird Al Yankovic how to walk on my stilts. In like 2 or 3 minutes, I put them on, and then Entertainment Tonight showed up around the corner in the studio with live cameras, and there was Weird Al walking on my stilts, and he was like doing a jig for Entertainment Tonight. So anyway, if you want to see the movie UHF, this is what the icon looks like, and it's on Canopy, and it's free, and you can watch it as many times as you want for 1 month. And you're entitled to 5 movies on Canopy.
Well, that's
So
through
that's
the Orange County that's through the Orange County Library.
No, I think all they want is anybody that has a library card and a 4-digit PIN anywhere in the United States, you can get into Canopy.
I'm not sure that Seminole County is involved in that, but I'll check it out. That sounds fascinating.
Just go to canopy.com.
I did, and it went to the OC library.canopy, and it says access restricted. And this is log in.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
and then it
log
wants
in.
Yeah, and it says a username and password.
Yeah, the link is for the Orange County.
Yeah.
So if you just go to canopy.com, not the link.
That's what I did do.
No, if you went to the link that Gary gave you, it was OC Library.
No, I did canopy.com.
Oh, just straight Canopy.
Just go to canopy.com and sign up.
Yeah. Well, we didn't know we had a celebrity in our midst. So
I know. Yeah.
All right, guys.
Okay. All right.
And what's the movie called, or
UHF?
Okay.
UHF.
I have to do a search on it. Okay.
Well, if you look at the link at the very end of the query on the link in chat, it says UHF.
UHF, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, but I can't. It says that wants me to sign in with an account. No, I just have to see what I need to do. I'll go through my library system and see if it's available through them.
All they want is your library identification and your PIN, your 4-digit PIN, and you can get in. And most library cards have that. So
my card is full.
Otherwise,
I haven't been to the library in ages. So
yeah, or otherwise just go through your library and see if you can get in that way.
Yeah.
But it was very easy to sign up with Canopy with Orange County. That's for sure.
Okay, guys, I just got 2 quick comments. Number one, at the board meeting the other night, Mark Schulman came up with the idea that if I didn't realize this, but if you have a Windows 10 machine that's capable of running Oracle, you can put Windows 11 into a virtual machine using Oracle on a Windows 10 machine that is not capable of running Windows 11, which I thought was kind of unique. So I'm in the process of trying it on the Club Asus. Of course, when I tried it initially, it sat there for 15 minutes and came back and said, "This is not working. Do you want to cancel or try again?" I
Okay,
tried again.
I'll interrupt you just to say that they've identified a problem with VirtualBox. And it is with Windows 11 and it's with Windows 10 with the latest updates. So both Oracle and Microsoft are working to solve that. So sometime in whatever the future is, when that problem is resolved, try it again.
I went with
Okay.
I went with my main computer, the one I use for everything. I've updated it to Windows 11 with no problems at all. I've been very pleased with it.
In
I'm not
VirtualBox?
using, I'm not, no.
That's what I'm
just-
saying.
I-
It's a
No, I'm
VirtualBox
just saying,
problem.
yeah, I'm just saying that I went to it, I updated, and I've been very pleased with it. It runs very smoothly. I've not had any things not work. I'm using the regular version. I'm not using beta, and I'm not using the dev version, developer version. I'm using the released version.
Yeah, during the APCUG Windows workshop, I think 3 weeks ago now, Murray, who's one of the regulars on Tech for Senior,
Yeah, Murray Strom from
yeah.
Victoria. I think
he stated
from
he had the
Victoria.
same problem that I experienced, and then we both talked to John Kennedy about it, and he said, yeah, he was having the same problem. So there's some incompatibility that the recent version of 11 and the latest updates to 10 have with the running of a Windows virtual machine. We don't know what it is. I didn't experience it myself until I did a Windows 10 update. And then the 20, was it 21 H2, I think, just installed, and I had my fingers crossed that it was going to work after that, and it's still pokey. So there's something not quite right with VirtualBox.
And the machine Stan's working on is what, 10-year-old machine.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, and he has other problems with it.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if if he has
Picnic.
problems with it, making it work.
Mostly picnic, Huey.
No, I think you got some hardware issues too. It's an old machine.
Yeah. All right. The other thing I wanted to mention, I don't know how many of you saw my Facebook post, but just like daylight savings time, it's Thanksgiving. So don't forget to set your scales back 15 pounds to accommodate Thanksgiving.
Yep.
And with that, I will wish you
Gobble,
all a
gobble,
very
gobble.
happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I hope everybody saw the video I did on the Wayback Machine, and that I went to the CFCS website and showed Stan president 15 years ago.
You sure that wasn't when we were all in the Matrix?
Hey, Michael,
Yes.
on Black Friday, Hulu might be selling a year subscription for $1.99. So
If they do, there is a brand new science fiction series coming out, and it's available on Hulu only. So I will definitely be watching for that.
So
Yeah,
our family does this every year. My daughter, every year on Black Friday, she signs up with Hulu using a different email, and they honor it as a new subscription. And so she gets it. We get it for $1.99 a month.
Yeah, I noticed there's several that are on sale, and it's going to be 99 cents, but up to 2 months. So I don't know. So you want to make sure you look at the limits, because they may be limiting it this year. But there were several. There was Paramount Plus. There was the Peacock,
Disney,
and so
Disney Plus, the package with Hulu, with Disney and ESPN. Yeah.
And if you are a Matrix fan, since I said a Matrix reference, Matrix 4 is coming out. It's either Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve on HBO Plus. So you become a member, for 1 month, you watch it, and then you resign.
Cool.
if you remember to do that. Otherwise,
Remember
then it
to-
goes to $12 a month or something. All
Okay,
right.
I'll stop recording, guys.